Hey guys, RDS here. Welcome back to Red Devil Multiverse. Yes, we're no longer Red Marvel, we are Red Devil Multiverse in a shameless rebrand. And this time, this is my first in a series of videos on my first time watching series regarding anime, TV shows, etc. And today we are going to be diving into Death Note. So unlike most of y'all, I only just finished recently watching this, and it was insane. One of the most legendary anime series of all time. You know, I've heard about it, the mind games, the plot twist, the iconic battle between the two masterminds, but experiencing it for the first time, it was crazy. So whether you're an anime veteran or completely into the genre, you know, Death Note is definitely one of those shows that stands the test of time, blending an intense psychological drama with edge of your seat suspense. And trust me, once you get started, like me, you just have to keep on going. So, at its core, Death Note basically asks a simple but interesting question. What would you do if you had the power to kill anyone in the world and without ever being caught? You're introduced to Light Yagami, who's brilliant but noticeably bored high school student who discovers a mysterious notebook dropped by Shinigami, which is basically a death god in this anime, named Rook. You write a name in the book, and that person dies. Simple as that. Chilling, it is what it is. But for some reason, Light, possibly because of his boredom, he decides to cleanse the world of criminals. And then this is when things just kind of, take a spiral, certainly for Light. And it's this kind of like, Sherlock Holmesy, detective cat and mouse sort of game, so it's not like your typical action-packed, show in an anime, so it's intellectual, battle of wits, strategy, morality with, both Light and L as you go for the series, trying to essentially one-up and outthink each other. Death Note doesn't just entertain, it does challenge you. The series, it digs into big themes like justice, morality, corruption, and the corrupting nature of absolute power, which absolutely corrupts. Light starts with a twisted sense of justice, but as the series goes on, you can clearly see and question, is he a hero or is he a villain? Is he doing it for the greater good, or is he just, basically just drunk on his own hype? And then, of course, L. I love L, man. Quirky, eccentric, a genius in his own right. And the dynamic between the two, I think, is one of the best rivalries that I've seen in any anime that I've ever watched. It's fitting, and it still stands today in 2025. Every conversation, every small detail feels like a chess move, and it's mental warfare at its finest.
I had to test this just in case, but I never thought it would actually happen. Kira, it seems you can kill people without having to be there in person.
Visually, Death Note nails the tone, though. The dark color palette, the sharp contrasts, and the dramatic close-ups create the constant sense of tension. The soundtrack is haunting. There's eerie strings to the adrenaline-pumping battle themes. The opening songs are peak, especially The World and What's Up People. Pure hype, set the mood, great. And of course, Rook. He's one of the most memorable Shinigami in anime. He's comedic, he's funny, but he also serves as a reminder, almost like he's us as we're watching the events that are going on, and the fact that the Death Note shouldn't be taken lightly. One of the best things about Death Note is its pacing. The first half, I would argue, is pretty much near perfection. Each episode ends with a cliffhanger. I was addicted. I wanted to immediately click next, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. The second half of it kind of shifts in tone when you get into the sort of death of L, and then you sort of go into the succession part of the season when you introduce the characters like Nier. And while some fans debate whether it's as strong as the first part, I still do think the finale, is one of the most satisfying, endings in all of anime. I know that's saying something, but I think it is, and especially when there are like 3 different endings. There's, director's edition, movie edition, etc. Obviously the manga edition. There were some slight alterations there, but I would say that I was satisfied. It had to end, and I think they ended it strongly. Should you watch Death Note? Absolutely. It's smart, intense, and iconic. A must watch for any anime fan or anyone looking for a gripping story about power and consequence. So, guys, I mean, I enjoyed it. I really, really did. First time watching it. I don't know why I didn't watch this sooner. If you have watched Death Note, drop it for its below. And also, if you want me to do a reaction, an episodic reaction to every Death Note episode, let me know. We can go through it together. Let me know if you're Team Light or Team L. But if you're new here, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Multiverse. Signing out now, and see you in the next one. Peace.